everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to be speaking from NSA South Potomac with Chaplain Selitto and his wife Rita. I'm Julia Apicella, and I'm the Fleet and Family Support Center Work and Family Life Specialist. Today we're going to be talking about ways that you can, kind of some tips for you to have an organized household during COVID and keep the peace at home. So Chaplain Selitto and his wife Rita are going to be giving us some tips on what they do in their home and kind of help us navigate through these questions that people have had. So I'm going to start with the first question that people have had. First of all, what should I do when I get frustrated with my partner? It's been a big one these days because of COVID and being stuck at home and not being able to get out of the house. So what do you guys do in this case?
Sure. Hey everybody, I'm Chaplain Jeremy Selitto, and this is Rita.
Hi everyone.
And just a quick backstory for us. We've been married for 19 years and been doing this Navy thing now for about 10. Obviously COVID has been a big wrench for us. So we're both been teleworking and we got 3 kids at home. So question about what should I do when I get frustrated with my partner? And we definitely get frustrated with each other from time to time.
It's normal.
I do like the tweet that Julia, you showed me, and that was about where the guy from Los Angeles said that my wife and I played this game called "Why Are You Doing That?" And so I just think the first part for us would be expectations management. One, what are my expectations? And I know my expectations for me has to do with I need to be in control, and that's not possible. And as an extrovert, I need to get out and be with people, and that's not exactly possible. And so I just kind of have this I have to have an underlying awareness that I'm already going to be a little unsettled and a little touchy. And so if I know that already I'm a little touchy, and if all of a sudden Rita does something or the kids do something, I don't immediately start like pointing fingers, because I just at first said, okay, I know I'm touchy right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a really good point, just to be gracious with each other, but also to find time to give each other some space. I think right now with social distancing and quarantining and working from home, people are together a lot more than they're used to being together. So finding your own time and your own space to focus on self-care. I think self-care is more important than it has been ever before. I mean, it's an unprecedented situation, so we need to be very mindful of finding the things that rejuvenate us, whether that's exercising, whether that's getting out and doing some kind of activity outside, or watching a movie by yourself, whatever it is that rejuvenates you in order to be a better version of yourself in the relationship, I think is just as important as any time in history right now. So finding times to pour into yourself, and then giving grace, recognizing that you might be touchy, and being willing to say I'm sorry, I think is also important. Just be you messed up and just say I'm sorry.
Yes, exactly. So that kind of leads me into something else. Some people have said that their partner wants to go out more than they do, and in some cases that might leave one of them at home with the children a lot more. So what would you recommend in those cases where one of them wants to get out of the house a lot more than the other one does, and just kind of causes friction that way?
Well, there is again the dynamic where someone is extroverted and just really wants to connect to others and be rejuvenated by being around others, but there is the COVID dynamic right now, and so by going out, that means that you're gonna you may feel like you're putting yourself at risk, or by your partner going out, you may feel like your partner is putting the household at risk. So communication, just open, consistent, patient communication. So for us, I think we try to talk about, and I think there's this idea of asserting communication. Like, I'm going to assert not my will or what I want, but I'm going to clearly communicate what I want, and then we work through what's best.
Yeah, we have to find, because this is undetermined in terms of how long we're going to be adapting and living this life. We have to be resourceful in finding a strategy and a plan that works for us. So I agree, communication is key. So for the person who's not as comfortable going out, them being reassured that the person who does want to go out is wearing a mask, is practicing social distancing, is doing things to keep the family safe so that they're not feeling anxious when they do go out of the house. And then in terms of childcare, I think the person who's leaving more often needs to be mindful that the person at home still needs a break. So when they come home, they need to be willing to engage in the home and give the person that's been there most of the time some time off to go, be in another part of the house, go outside, do something to get a break from being on all the time.
Yes, I agree. So
when you say on and a chance to be off,
Yeah.
And so, but what if the person's coming back from work and they've been on, and all of a sudden they've got to come back and be on for the kids? There's still that negotiation, isn't there? Like, the person who's been working needs to still expect, like, yes, we know you just come back from work, but the person doing the kids needs to also get out too.
Yeah, I mean, that's another communication point, would just be communicating. You know, most people who have been working all day need a time of transition before they re-engage in home life. So determining what that time looks like, whether that's 15 minutes or 40 minutes, and giving them permission to have that time to kind of, reinsert themselves into family life. But once they've had that break, whether they changed their clothes, sat down and read something or played a game or something like that, to re-engage in family life, I think is important, so that that's the person the partner or spouse, whoever is staying home all day can have a break.
I think in the past, I've felt guilty. I know, like, there were times where you were the stay-at-home parent, and I knew that you were just grinding it out all day. And so I'd come home and just engage, didn't take a break. And then I was kind of snippy by the time dinner came around, and everybody else suffered for that. So the idea of kind of getting a little bit of a buffer, and then, just kind of get negotiating those good rhythms.
Yeah, I agree. That whole dynamic has changed now with coming home and winding down and everything. It's a whole new process now for everybody. So those are some good tips. So I think that brings us to the end of our interview this time, but I'm sure I have many more topics I could speak with you about in the future, and I hope to do more videos with you. But for now, I just want people to know that if you want to reach out, you can reach out to Fleet and Family Services. You can reach out to your chaplain on your base, and then we're there for you. Also, we have a Facebook page at South Potomac. It's called NSA South Potomac Chapel, and you can put questions on there or send a private message, and we'll get back to you. So I look forward to seeing you guys later on in more of these videos, and thank you for watching.